It's almost as if there's an invisible thread tying you together. You catch her gaze, the shared laughter echoes in your memory, the chemistry is palpable. Yet, when the crowd disperses and silence falls, you find yourself staring at your phone, waiting. The question haunts you. Why doesn't she reach out? This isn't merely a personal quandary, it's a silent battle, a dance of emotions and unspoken rules playing out in the shadows of modern relationships. Here's a thought that may not have crossed your mind. This pattern of silence is not unique to your situation, but is a dance as old as time, reflecting a complex interplay of human behaviors influenced by societal norms and psychological conditioning. Today we'll explore this enigma through the lens of both Stoicism and elements of dark psychology, revealing not just why she holds back, but how you can navigate this silent battlefield with wisdom and fortitude. Imagine attraction as a flame that burns brightly, yet needs air to breathe. Every message you send fans this flame, but every moment of silence is the space that allows it to breathe and grow. Society paints a picture of romance where the man leads the charge, his persistence a testament to his interest. Yet, this narrative burdens not just the pursuer, but the pursued, leaving her to wonder if stepping forward is an act of desperation rather than genuine interest. Consider Mia, who smiles wistfully at your last message, but hesitates to initiate. In her mind, a battle rages, fear of seeming too eager, of stepping out of the role society has crafted for her, shadows her desire to connect. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we control only our actions, our responses, but not the actions of others. This principle guides us through the thorny paths of romance, where the mind might rush towards frustration or confusion. When she does not reach out, it is not a mirror reflecting your worth, but a shadow cast by her own doubts and fears. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." Apply this as you reflect on her silence. Is it a wall, or is it a door waiting to be opened with the right key? Your response to this silence, patience, understanding, and a reflection of your inner calm, can be that key. Many men fall into the trap of believing that relentless effort is a mark of true affection. However, Stoicism and even elements of dark psychology suggest otherwise. Strength and balance, not incessant pursuit, draw genuine affection. Women, like the mysterious moon, have their phases and tides. They are drawn not to the relentless sun that scorches with its heat, but to the steady moon that illuminates the night with gentle certainty. If she truly cares, her actions will eventually meet yours. Instead of bombarding her with messages which might push her further into retreat, give her the space to come towards you. Your silence, wise and deliberate, speaks volumes of your confidence and emotional maturity. Ultimately, if she is interested, she will bridge the gap. But this will not happen while you chase shadows or doubt your worth. Be the man who stands firm in his own self-respect, patient yet ready to act when the time is right. This is the essence of Stoicism in relationships, a powerful undercurrent that, when embraced, turns the quiet of absence into a loud presence. Your confidence, a beacon in the fog of uncertainty, can guide her back to you. As you navigate these silent waters, remember that the art of connection is not in the noise of constant communication, but in the tranquility of mutual understanding and respect. Let your actions be few but meaningful, your words scarce but powerful. In the quiet that follows, the strength of your connection will reveal itself, not through her words, but through the silence she breaks to return to you. This is the Stoic's way, finding power not in the clamor, but in the calm. The words you speak to yourself shape the person you become. Embrace affirmations as a reminder of your strength, patience, and worth, even in the silence of uncertainty. Here is your affirmation. Her silence does not define my value. We'd love for you to share this affirmation in the comments below. Your voice might inspire someone else navigating the same journey. Let's build a community of strength and growth together. If this video resonated with you, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us and keeps us motivated to create content that helps you navigate life's challenges with wisdom and courage. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Number 1. Her silence is a canvas for your strength. Have you ever stared at your phone, wondering why her name hasn't lit up your screen? You felt the connection. You saw the spark in her eyes, heard the warmth in her laugh, and yet here you are, alone with the silence she's left behind. What if I told you that her silence isn't an absence, but a canvas? A blank slate where your strength, patience, and self-worth can paint a masterpiece of emotional resilience. This isn't rejection, it's a test of who you are when the world grows quiet. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Her silence is one of those outside events. You can't control it, nor should you try. What you can control is your reaction. Will you let this silence shake your confidence, or will you use it to stand taller, more grounded than before? She may be wrestling with her own doubts, fears, and societal expectations. This silence could be her way of protecting herself. But how you respond to it speaks volumes about who you are as a man. Picture this. Her silence is like an empty canvas in an art gallery. Some people see it as meaningless, avoid, and walk away. But a true artist sees its potential. You are the artist in this situation. Do you lash out with frustration, smearing the canvas with chaos? Or do you take a step back, steady your hand, and create something beautiful out of the quiet? The strokes you choose, patience, confidence, emotional balance, define not only the picture she sees, but also the one you see of yourself. Too often, men fall into the trap of filling silence with desperate noise. They text again, call repeatedly, or over-explain their feelings, thinking that more is always better. But relationships don't work like that. Consider a beautiful piece of music. The pauses, the silences between the notes, are what make the melody unforgettable. Without them, it's just noise. Your relationship is the same. By respecting the silence, by leaning into it instead of running from it, you allow her the space to feel your presence in a profound way. Imagine her silence as the quiet before a sunrise. The night is still, and you can't see the light yet, but it's there, waiting to rise in its own time. If you panic, running around trying to force the sun to appear, you only exhaust yourself. Instead, be the person who sits calmly on the horizon, appreciating the beauty of the moment as it unfolds. Your calm patience is magnetic, and it will draw her closer far more effectively than frantic pursuit ever could. Now, let's get real. This isn't easy. Silence can feel like a void, and that void can stir up insecurities you thought you'd buried. You might start asking yourself, did I say something wrong? Am I not enough? But here's the truth. Her silence is not a reflection of your value. It's a stage in her own emotional journey. By standing firm in your self-worth, you become the steady anchor she can rely on when she's ready to reach out. When you embody stoic strength, you show her something rare and powerful. You show her that your emotions aren't dependent on her every action. You demonstrate that you're a man who knows his value, who doesn't need constant validation to feel whole. This quiet confidence is intoxicating. It's not about playing games. It's about showing her that you're a partner worth building something real with. So, stop overthinking her silence. Stop scrolling through old messages or replaying conversations in your head. Instead, focus on being the best version of yourself. Work on your passions, strengthen your mind, and cultivate your emotional resilience. When you do this, you don't just become someone she wants to contact. You become someone she can't help but admire. Now, let me leave you with this. I am strong, patient, and in control of my emotions. Her silence does not define me. Say it again, out loud. Feel the power of those words. Then write them in the comments below. Your affirmation might inspire someone else who's walking the same path. And if this video has resonated with you, if it has given you even a glimmer of clarity in the quiet storm of relationships, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We pour our hearts into creating content that can transform yours. Stay with me. We're not done yet. Together, we'll navigate these silent affections with strength, wisdom, and grace. Number 2, every pause holds a story. They say silence speaks louder than words, but when it's the silence of someone you care about, it feels more like a deafening void. You've replayed every moment in your mind, the conversations, the shared laughter, the way her eyes lingered just a second longer than necessary. And yet, here you are, waiting for a text, a call, any sign that she's thinking about you the way you're thinking about her. But what if her silence isn't rejection? What if it's a story waiting to be told, a chapter she hasn't yet found the courage to write? Every pause holds a story. Behind her lack of contact lies a narrative filled with emotions, fears, and questions she may not even fully understand herself. Think of it this way. Silence is like the space between musical notes. Without it, the melody would lose its beauty, its depth. Her quiet moments aren't empty. They're brimming with unspoken feelings. But who told you her silence is a judgment of your worth? Who fed you that lie? Stop it. It's time to wake up to a deeper truth. Her silence might be the pause that makes your connection more profound, if you allow it to. Imagine a bird perched on a branch, hesitant to take flight. The world below seems vast, unpredictable, and terrifying. Her hesitation isn't a sign of weakness, but of vulnerability. She might be replaying her own fears, wondering if reaching out will make her seem too eager or expose her feelings too soon. Just as you analyze every text or gesture, she's overthinking hers, caught in a whirlwind of what-ifs. Sometimes, the silence isn't about you at all. It's about the battle within her heart. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Her silence is not something you can control, nor is it yours to fix. Instead, your strength lies in how you respond. Will you panic and fill the void with endless messages and self-doubt? Or will you choose patience, self-assurance, and the quiet confidence that says, "I know my worth, and I trust the process"? Think of a potter shaping clay on a wheel. The clay doesn't take its form through force, but through the careful balance of pressure and release. If the potter pushes too hard, the clay collapses. If they let go completely, it spins aimlessly. Your relationship is like that clay, and her silence is the moment where your patience becomes the gentle touch that allows the connection to take shape. Now, stay with me. We're not done yet. Her silence also serves as a mirror, reflecting not just her story, but yours. How do you handle uncertainty? How do you react when validation isn't immediate? This pause she's created may be the moment for you to confront your own fears and insecurities. Are you strong enough to stand still and let her come to you? Can you trust that your steadiness, your calm, will draw her closer in time? Say this out loud. I am patient and secure. Her silence is not a rejection but an unfolding chapter. Let that affirmation sink in, because the story isn't over. Her lack of contact may feel like a pause, but in reality, it's a moment for growth, for both of you. Like the quiet before a storm, this silence holds the potential to change everything. If you respond with grace and resilience, you're not just building attraction, you're creating the foundation for something meaningful. So, say it again. I am patient and secure. Her silence is not a rejection, but an unfolding chapter. Write this in the comments right now. Affirm it not just for yourself, but for someone else who might need to hear these words today. Before you go, let me remind you of this. Relationships are not built in the frenzy of constant communication, but in the stillness of mutual respect and understanding. Her silence isn't the end of the story. It's just the turning of the page. Like the potter and the clay, like the melody that needs its pauses, trust that what's meant for you will take shape in its own time. If this resonated with you, give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. We're working hard to bring you life-changing lessons like these, lessons that help you navigate the beautiful complexities of relationships and personal growth. Thank you for being part of this journey. Stay strong, stay patient, and trust that the story is still being written. Number 3. The magnetic power of quiet confidence. Why does her silence feel so loud? You've sent the text, made the call, extended your hand, and yet there's nothing but stillness in return. It's easy to feel the weight of that silence, to believe it reflects a lack of interest or affection. But what if I told you that her silence isn't rejection? It's an invitation for you to step into your quiet confidence, to show her that your worth isn't tied to her response. This is where the true power lies, not in chasing her, not in overthinking her actions, but in embodying the calm assurance that draws her closer without a single word. Confidence is magnetic, but it's not the loud, brash kind of confidence that demands attention. It's the quiet, steady kind that speaks without speaking. Marcus Aurelius once said, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." And when it comes to relationships, your ambition should be clear. To stand firm in your value, even when her actions don't immediately validate it. Her silence isn't a void. It's the space where your quiet confidence can shine. Think of quiet confidence like the steady pull of gravity. The earth doesn't chase the moon. It holds its place, assured of its strength, and the moon orbits naturally. In relationships, the same principle applies. When you stop chasing, stop trying to fill the silence with noise, you create a gravitational pull. She begins to feel your strength, your independence, your self-assuredness, and she's drawn to it in ways she can't fully explain. This isn't manipulation. It's the natural result of standing firmly in who you are. Imagine a man walking into a crowded room. He doesn't announce himself or demand attention, but everyone notices him. It's not his words or actions that stand out. It's his presence. He exudes calm, confidence, and control, and that energy is impossible to ignore. You can be that man in her life. You don't need to shout for her attention. Your quiet confidence will speak louder than words ever could. Now let's be honest. The path to quiet confidence isn't always easy. It requires patience, discipline, and a deep sense of self-worth. When she doesn't text back or reach out, it's natural to feel a pang of insecurity. Your mind might race with questions. Does she care? Did I do something wrong? But these thoughts are nothing more than fleeting clouds. They don't define the clear sky of your value. Instead of letting her silence stir up doubt, let it deepen your resolve. As the Stoics teach us, control what you can and release what you can't. You can't control her actions, but you can control how you respond. Think of this as a garden. If you plant seeds and immediately start digging them up to check if they're growing, you'll destroy them before they even have a chance to sprout. Relationships are no different. Give her space, give her time, and trust that your steady presence is enough to nurture the connection. Your confidence is the sunlight that encourages her to grow toward you. But who fed you that lie? The one that says you need to prove your worth with constant effort, with endless texts and calls. Stop it. You're not defined by someone else's response, or lack of it. You're defined by the way you hold yourself in the quiet moments, by the strength you show when the world feels uncertain. It's time to wake up to your own power, to step into the version of yourself that doesn't just attract her, but inspires her. So affirm with me right now, I am calm, confident, and magnetic in my presence. Her silence does not diminish my worth. Say this out loud. Feel the truth of it. Let it sink in. Say it again. Stay with me. We're not done yet. Quiet confidence is a journey, not a destination. Each moment of uncertainty is an opportunity to grow stronger, to deepen your self-respect, to become the person she can't help but notice. The man who stands firm, who doesn't waver, who doesn't chase. He's the man she remembers, the man she feels safe with, the man she gravitates toward. If this resonates with you, I invite you to write this affirmation in the comments below. Let it be your declaration, your commitment to stepping into your power. Share it with others who might need to hear it. And while you're here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're working hard to bring you lessons that touch your heart and transform your life, and your support means everything. So stand tall, stay steady. Your quiet confidence isn't just your strength, it's your magnetism. Number 4. Her silence is not the absence of feeling, but the weight of it. Have you ever stood at the edge of a forest in the stillness of twilight, feeling the weight of everything unspoken around you? The silence is thick, almost alive, carrying the untold stories of rustling leaves and unseen movements. Her silence is much the same. It's not empty, it's heavy. It's a space filled with emotions she hasn't found the courage to voice yet. A thundercloud of feelings waiting for the right conditions to rain down. But here's the thing, most people mistake that silence for indifference, not realizing it's often the opposite. Her quiet isn't a void, it's a shield. Maybe it's shielding her from the vulnerability of saying too much, too soon. Maybe it's protecting her from the fear of rejection, a fear that runs deeper than you might imagine. Women, just like men, carry the weight of societal expectations and personal insecurities. Society whispers to her that making the first move might seem desperate, that her silence is safer than taking a leap and falling into uncertainty. But who fed you that lie? Who said silence meant she didn't care? Stop it. It's time to wake up to the reality that silence often screams the loudest when it's trying to hide something tender. Imagine her emotions like an iceberg. What you see above the surface, her silence, is just a fraction of what lies beneath. Underneath, there are fears, hopes, memories, and perhaps even affection she doesn't know how to express. By responding to her silence with impatience or over-analysis, you're trying to melt that iceberg with fire. But Stoicism teaches us that fire isn't always the answer. Sometimes it's the steady warmth of patience and understanding that melts barriers and allows what's beneath to rise naturally to the surface. Think about a seed buried in the soil. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust the process, nurturing it with water and sunlight, giving it space to sprout when it's ready. Her silence is that seed. It doesn't mean there's no growth happening. It means she's working through her own process, and your job is to provide the steady presence that makes her feel safe to emerge. Stay with me. We're not done yet. You might be tempted to see her lack of contact as a reflection of your worth, as if her silence is a verdict on who you are. But that's a trap, a mental quicksand that pulls you into overthinking and self-doubt. Stoicism offers a lifeline here. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Her silence is an outside event. Your worth isn't defined by her actions, but by how you choose to respond. So affirm with me right now. Your calmness in the face of her silence is a testament to your strength. Your ability to remain steady while she navigates her own emotional storm is what sets you apart. Imagine you're a lighthouse on a rocky shore, standing tall and unshaken while the waves crash around you. She may be the ship searching for safe harbor, and your calm, unwavering light is what will guide her in. Consider this. If she's holding back because she's afraid, what message do you send when you react with impatience or desperation? You're not just chasing her, you're confirming her fears. But when you respond with understanding and quiet confidence, you send a different message. I am not here to chase you into the light. I am here to be the light you can find when you're ready. That's the kind of energy that draws people in, not through force, but through magnetism. So say it again. Her silence is not the absence of feeling, it's the weight of it. Write this affirmation in the comments below. Let it sink in, not just for yourself, but for others who need to hear it. Your words might become the steady light someone else is searching for. And before you go, if this message resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're working hard to bring you life-changing lessons like these, to help you navigate relationships and personal growth with wisdom and strength. Your support fuels our mission to make content that truly matters. Together, let's build a community grounded in understanding, self-worth, and the kind of motivation that transforms lives. Thank you for being part of this journey. Number 5. When you stop running, she'll start walking towards you. Have you ever noticed how shadows disappear when the light chases them too hard? The more you run after something, the more it seems to retreat. In relationships, the same holds true. The harder you chase her, the farther she seems to go. But what if I told you that the very act of standing still, of holding your ground with quiet confidence, can be the most powerful move you'll ever make? This is the paradox of attraction. When you stop running, she'll start walking toward you. Chase her, and she'll flee. Stay steady, and she'll gravitate. These aren't just words, they're a universal truth. Think of a butterfly. If you run after it, flailing your arms and making noise, it flutters away, startled and scared. But when you sit still, letting the world move at its own pace, the butterfly lands softly on your shoulder, drawn by your calm presence. She, like the butterfly, needs to feel that space to choose you, rather than be cornered into responding to your endless pursuit. Relationships aren't about proving yourself through relentless effort. They're about creating a space where both partners feel free to move toward each other naturally. Her silence, her hesitations, her pauses, they're not meant to test your worth, but to test your patience. She might be asking herself questions she doesn't have answers to yet. Can I trust him? Will he be steady when I'm uncertain? Is he someone I can lean on? Your actions in her silence answer those questions louder than words ever could. Stoic philosophy teaches us the value of self-control and patience in the face of uncertainty. Epictetus once said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." You cannot control her actions, her timing, or her fears, but you can control how you respond. When you stop running, stop texting excessively, stop overanalyzing her silence, stop questioning your own value, you show her that your worth is not contingent on her reactions. That's the kind of quiet strength that turns hesitation into trust. Imagine a tide coming in at the beach. If you try to grab at the waves, they slip through your fingers, leaving you soaked and frustrated. But if you sit back and let the tide reach you, it gently laps at your feet, bringing the cool embrace of the ocean to you. Her emotions are like that tide. If you chase, you might overwhelm her, but if you wait, her feelings will come to you in their own time. But who fed you that lie? That lie that says you need to be constantly proving your worth by chasing her. Who made you believe that if you pause, you'll lose her? Stop it. It's time to wake up. The truth is, when you chase too hard, you don't appear as confident or desirable. You look desperate, and desperation repels the very affection you seek. Confidence isn't about loud declarations or constant actions. It's about being secure enough in your own value to trust that what is meant for you will find its way. So, affirm with me right now, I am patient, I am steady, and I am enough as I am. Say this out loud. Say it again until you believe it. She doesn't need you to be perfect or persistent. She needs you to be someone she can rely on, someone who won't crumble under the weight of uncertainty. When you stop chasing, you create the space for her to see you clearly, without the noise of your over-effort clouding her view. Stay with me. We're not done yet. This isn't about playing games or manipulating her into wanting you. This is about respecting her emotional space while valuing your own. It's about showing her that you're a man who knows his worth and isn't afraid to stand still when the world tells you to run. The kind of man who doesn't need to prove himself through constant pursuit, but through calm, quiet confidence. So, say it again. I am patient, I am steady, and I am enough as I am. Write this affirmation in the comments below. Let's build a community of strength, patience, and respect for both ourselves and those we care about. If this message resonated with you, if you found even a spark of truth here, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're working hard to bring you life-changing lessons like this, lessons that help you navigate the complexities of relationships and become the best version of yourself. Your support means the world to us. It keeps us going, creating content that inspires, motivates, and transforms lives. Thank you for being here with us on this journey. Number 6. In the silence, your true value is defined. They say silence is deafening, but what if it's not? What if her silence isn't a scream of indifference but a whisper asking, "Who are you?" when the noise stops? In relationships, silence isn't just the absence of words. It's the stage where true character is revealed. How you respond to her lack of contact, whether with grace or desperation, shows not just who you are to her, but who you are to yourself. Let's face it, waiting for a message that doesn't come feels like staring at a locked door, hoping it will swing open. But what if you stopped looking at the door and started building the room around you instead? This is where Stoicism meets the heartache of relationships. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." Her silence isn't what defines you. Your reaction is. Will you crumble under the weight of your own overthinking, or will you use the quiet as a chance to cultivate your strength? Picture this. You're standing in a forest, surrounded by the vast stillness of nature. There's no sound, no movement, just the quiet hum of existence. Do you panic, thinking the forest has abandoned you? Or do you pause and realize that the stillness is alive with unseen growth, that the roots beneath the surface are deepening even as you stand there? Her silence is like that forest. It feels empty, but in truth, it's an invitation to stand still and grow stronger within yourself. The question is, can you see it? In relationships, silence is often mistaken for rejection. But here's the truth. Silence is rarely about you. More often it's about the other person wrestling with their own doubts, fears, and insecurities. Maybe she's afraid of seeming too eager, or maybe she's unsure of her own feelings. Whatever the reason, her silence is not a measure of your worth. It's a reflection of her inner battle. What matters is how you navigate this moment. Can you be the calm in her storm, the steady presence she might not even know she needs? Imagine a diamond buried beneath the earth. It doesn't scream for attention or demand to be noticed. It simply exists, unbothered by the dirt and darkness around it, until one day someone sees its value and brings it to light. In the silence, you're that diamond. Your value isn't diminished just because it's not immediately recognized. Instead of clawing for attention, let your quiet strength shine. The right person will see it, not because you've shouted for them to notice, but because they're drawn to your unwavering presence. Stop letting her silence control the narrative in your mind. You tell yourself stories. She doesn't care. She's not interested. I'm not enough. But who fed you that lie? It's not the silence that's hurting you. It's the meaning you attach to it. Stop it. It's time to wake up. This silence is your test, not hers. It's asking you, can you be whole on your own? Can you stand tall, even when the ground beneath you feels unsteady? You don't need constant validation to prove your worth. True value doesn't waver in the face of uncertainty. It stands firm, like a lighthouse guiding ships through the fog. Be that lighthouse. Stay grounded, even when the waves crash and the storm rages. When she's ready to return, she will. And if she doesn't, you'll still be standing, strong and unshaken. So affirm with me right now, I am enough. Her silence does not define my worth. Say this out loud. Feel the power in those words. They are the armor you wear against doubt and fear. Say it again. I am enough. Her silence does not define my worth. Let it sink in. Stay with me. We're not done yet. This is your moment. This is where you prove to yourself that you don't need anyone else's actions to validate your existence. Be the calm, steady presence that inspires others. Not because you're chasing them, but because you are grounded in who you are. In the silence, your true value is not only revealed, but strengthened. Write this affirmation in the comments below. I am enough. Her silence does not define my worth. Your words might give someone else the strength they need to face their own battles. Let's build a community of strength, resilience, and quiet confidence. And if this message resonated with you, if you found even a spark of encouragement in these words, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're pouring our hearts into creating lessons that uplift, empower, and guide you through life's toughest moments. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue this mission to bring clarity and motivation to those who need it most. Thank you for being here. You are part of something powerful. Number 7. A flower blooms in its own time. In the garden of relationships, patience is the gardener's greatest tool, and time is the natural rhythm that nurtures growth. Just as a flower does not bloom at the beckon of impatience, affection and connection cannot be forced in the delicate dance of human emotion. Consider the beauty of a budding rose. It opens at its own pace, influenced not by our desire for its bloom, but by the natural order of its own being. In relationships too, the heart opens in its own time, unfurling petals of trust and affection under the warm sun of patience and the gentle rain of understanding. In the realm of silent affections, where words remain unspoken and contacts are less frequent, it can be tempting to rush forward, to force the bud to open and reveal its inner beauty. Yet, Stoic wisdom reminds us of the virtue of restraint and the strength found in quiet endurance. Marcus Aurelius, a sage of Stoicism, once penned, "Adapt yourself to the pace of nature. Her secret is patience." When we apply this timeless truth to our relationships, we see that true connection, like the natural world around us, cannot be rushed without risking what makes it beautiful. Imagine love as a seed planted within the soil of companionship. Just as a seed needs time to anchor its roots before it breaks through the soil, human connection requires depth and resilience, cultivated through shared experiences and mutual respect that develop over time. Rushing this process is like pulling on a sapling, hoping to speed its growth. Instead, it needs the steadfastness of a gardener who trusts in the unseen work happening beneath the surface. The Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our responses, and our attitudes, not on bending others to our timeline or will. Embracing this mindset in the context of silent affections leads to a transformative realization. Her silence is not a void, but a space filled with potential, waiting for the right moment to reveal its richness. This perspective shifts how we approach moments of quiet, allowing us to see them as opportunities to cultivate our own virtues of patience, understanding, and self-assurance. As we navigate the emotional landscape marked by her lack of contact, let us remember the lessons from nature. The strongest trees are those that have withstood the tests of time and elements, growing slowly but robustly. In your relationship, be like the oak whose strength is undeniable, whose presence is unshakable. Let your silence be filled with purpose, your patience be your proclamation of readiness, not just to speak when the time comes, but to listen to the subtle stirrings of a budding connection. Let this affirmation be a guide as you reflect on the power of giving space and time in relationships. I cultivate patience and trust the natural unfolding of connection. Repeat this to yourself, affirm it in your moments of doubt, and if you feel moved, share this affirmation in the comments below. Let it be a seed you plant not only in your own heart, but in the community we are nurturing here together. If this message resonates with you, if you find value in these words and the perspectives we share, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support fuels our commitment to bringing you insights that transform, inspire, and deepen the understanding